She offered warm broth to a wounded seal hunter. The next morning, his clan encircled her igloo. The wind howled across the tundra, whipping snow into blinding swirls as Anna pulled her fur hood tighter. Despite the worsening blizzard, she continued gathering the rare Arctic herbs that only emerged during the winter moon. As the youngest healer of her small settlement, she couldn't return empty-handed. A dark shape caught her eye, something unnatural against the pristine white. Drawing closer, Anna gasped. A man lay half-buried in snow, blood staining the ice beneath him. His hunting spear lay broken beside him, and the emblem stitched on his parka made her heart race. Tulukaruk clan. Enemy. She should leave him. Generations of conflict dictated as much. Yet something in his pained expression stirred her healer's heart. "Ancestors, guide me," she whispered, kneeling beside him. The man's eyes fluttered open, revealing pain-clouded depths. "The seal turned on me," he managed. Without another word, Anna hoisted him up, bearing his weight against her small frame. Her igloo wasn't far. Inside, she laid him on furs and tended his wounds, a deep gash across his ribs where the seal's tusks had torn through hide and flesh. Working methodically, she cleaned, stitched, and applied poultices of the very herb she'd been gathering. When he shivered uncontrollably, Anna prepared her grandmother's healing broth, rich with marrow and medicinal roots. She lifted his head, offering the steaming liquid. "Drink," she urged. "It will warm your spirit and strengthen your blood." He hesitated, then sipped cautiously before drinking deeply. "I am Malik," he murmured, eyes already growing heavy with exhaustion. "Anna," she replied simply, watching as he drifted into healing sleep, unaware that she had just defied generations of tribal hatred, or that her compassion would forever alter both their fates. Malik awoke with a start, his hunter's instincts immediately registering unfamiliar surroundings. The igloo's smooth ice walls reflected the soft glow of a seal oil lamp. Pain shot through his side as he attempted to rise. "You shouldn't move yet," came a gentle voice. "The stitches need time." Memory flooded back. The hunt, the wounded seal's unexpected attack, the blizzard, and then her. He studied the young woman grinding herbs in a stone bowl. Her intricate facial tattoos marked her as belonging to the Sikuswila clan, his people's oldest rivals. "Why did you help me?" Suspicion edged his voice. Anna continued her work without looking up. "Would you prefer I had left you to freeze?" "My father is Atka, chief of the Tulukaruk," he said, as if testing her reaction. Her hands paused momentarily. "And that should have mattered while you bled into the snow." Malik fell silent, conflicted. Since childhood, he'd been taught the Sikuswilak were deceitful, that they'd stolen ancestral hunting grounds 3 generations ago. Yet here was one who had saved him, tended his wounds, shared her precious food. "My parents died in a hunting accident 2 winters ago," Anna offered unexpectedly. "My grandmother taught me healing before she joined the ancestors last spring. Now I live alone." "You're the clan healer? So young?" "Age doesn't determine wisdom," she replied, bringing him another bowl of broth. "My grandmother said I was born with old eyes." As they spoke, something shifted between them, cautious respect replacing ingrained hostility. Malik shared stories of seal hunting techniques. Anna described her healing journeys to the spirit world. Outside, the blizzard finally subsided. In its place, a strange silence descended, one that would prove far more ominous than the howling storm. Dawn broke with eerie stillness. Anna woke to the absence of wind, stretching beside the dying embers of her fire. Malik still slept, his breathing stronger than yesterday. She moved to the small ventilation hole to check the weather. Her blood froze. Surrounding her igloo in a perfect circle stood dozens of figures, men and women in dark fur parkas adorned with the distinctive bone carvings of the Tulukaruk clan. Their faces were impassive, spears planted in the snow before them. At their center stood a towering man whose elaborate headdress marked him as chief. "Malik," she whispered urgently, shaking him awake. "Your people are here." He struggled upright, wincing. How many? The entire hunting party, it seems. And, she swallowed hard, your father. Malik's expression darkened. Atka wouldn't come himself unless... He didn't finish the thought. They think I've taken you prisoner, Anna realized, fear creeping into her voice. Or worse. Malik grasped her arm. Listen carefully. My father respects strength and honesty. Show fear, and he'll sense it like a polar bear smells blood. A powerful voice boomed outside. Son of Atka, show yourself if you still draw breath. Malik struggled to his feet, leaning heavily against Anna. I must go out alone first. You can barely stand, she protested. Then I will kneel, he said grimly, but I won't let them harm you. You saved my life. I owe you a life debt. A debt your clan may not honor, Anna whispered. Malik's eyes met hers, something unspoken passing between them. Trust me, he said before pushing aside the hide covering the entrance and stepping into the blinding morning light, leaving Anna alone with her pounding heart and the knowledge that her fate now rested in the hands of lifelong enemies. Anna pressed her eye to the small opening in her igloo wall, watching as Malik stood before his father. Despite his wounds, he carried himself with dignity, though she could see the pain etched in his posture. Father, Malik acknowledged, his voice carrying in the crisp Arctic air. Atka, imposing in his ceremonial furs, studied his son with piercing eyes. You disappeared during the storm. We found blood on the ice, your broken spear. His gaze shifted to the igloo. And now we find you in Sikuswilak territory. Murmurs rippled through the gathered hunters. An elder stepped forward, his weathered face grave. Has she bewitched you, son of Atka? Used dark medicines to cloud your mind? Malik straightened despite his pain. She saved my life when your hunting party abandoned the search. A bull seal gored me. I would have frozen in the storm had she not brought me here, tended my wounds, and shared her food. Atka's expression remained unreadable. Bring out this healer. Anna's heart hammered against her ribs. She gathered her courage, wrapped her finest fur around her shoulders, and stepped outside. The morning sun glinted off spear points as all eyes turned to her. I am Anna of the Sikuswilak, she announced, her voice steadier than she felt. Last of my family line and keeper of my grandmother's healing knowledge. Atka circled her slowly. Why would you help the son of your enemy? The snow falls on all people equally, she replied. The spirits do not recognize the boundaries men create. An appreciative murmur rose from several elders. Atka silenced them with a gesture. Clever words from one so young. He turned to the tribal council. What say you? What is the judgment for this interference in our clan's affairs? The eldest hunter stepped forward, snow crunching beneath his sealskin boots. The ancient laws are clear. A life saved creates a bond not easily broken. All eyes turned back to Atka, whose decision would determine whether Anna lived or died. Silence stretched across the snow-covered expanse as Atka contemplated the young healer before him. The clan waited, breath forming clouds in the frigid air. The ancient ways speak truth, Atka finally declared. A life debt cannot be ignored. He turned to face his people, but neither can generations of division between our clans. Anna stood perfectly still, sensing a momentous shift approaching like distant thunder across ice. I propose a solution that honors both the debt and our future, Atka continued. Let the healing between our people begin with a union. My son Malik shall take this healer, Anna of the Sikuswilak, as his wife. Gasps erupted from both Anna and the assembled clan members. Malik's eyes widened in shock. Father, this is... Malik began. Unexpected? Atka finished. Perhaps. But is it not written in the old stories that enemies become strongest allies through shared blood? An elder woman pushed forward through the crowd. The girl has no family to negotiate terms. Who speaks for her? I speak for myself, Anna declared, finding her voice. I am the last of my line and keeper of my ancestors' wisdom. She looked at Malik, seeing confusion and something else in his eyes, something that had begun to grow during their night of shared stories in her igloo. "I will consider your proposal," she said carefully, "but such decisions cannot be rushed. I must seek guidance from the spirits." Atka nodded, respect flickering across his weathered features. 3 days. We will return for your answer when the moon is full." That night, alone in her igloo, Anna stared into the flames of her small fire. Marriage to Malik would ensure her survival and potentially heal an ancient rift. Yet her heart raced at the thought for reasons beyond political alliance. Outside, the aurora borealis danced across the sky, spirits of the ancestors weaving patterns of fate that even the wisest could not fully comprehend. 3 days passed in a blur of preparations. The Tulukaruk established a temporary camp nearby, an uneasy truce hovering over the ice fields. Malik visited daily, his wounds healing under Anna's care, their conversations growing longer, more personal. On the morning of decision, Atka arrived with his council of elders. Among them walked an ancient woman, her face a map of wrinkles, eyes sharp as obsidian. "Sila," whispered Anna, recognizing the legendary seer of the Tulukaruk. Atka raised his hand for silence. "Before any union can be considered, Anna must prove her worth to our clan. Tomorrow begins the winter hunt. She will join." Murmurs erupted among the hunters. Women rarely participated in the dangerous ritual that tested strength and skill against the harshest elements. "If she is to be the wife of a future chief," Atka continued, "she must demonstrate the courage our clan values." That evening, Malik found Anna preparing her hunting tools. "You don't have to do this," he said softly. "We could leave. Journey to the western settlements." Anna tested the edge of her knife. "And live as outcasts? No. This is about more than us now." Later, as Anna checked her supplies alone, Sila appeared at her doorway like a spirit materialized from the night. "You carry old magic," the elder said without preamble, her eyes evaluating Anna. "I've seen it only once before." "My grandmother was known to me," Sila nodded. "The divided clans were once one people, child. There is a prophecy. When the broken circle mends, the people will thrive again." She pressed something cold into Anna's palm, an ancient ivory amulet. "Wear this tomorrow. Some tests reveal more than skill with a spear." As Sila departed, Anna clutched the amulet, feeling its strange warmth against her skin. Tomorrow would determine not just her fate, but perhaps the future of both clans. Dawn broke with knife-edge clarity. The sky, a pale blue canvas, stretched taut over the endless white landscape. 20 hunters gathered at the edge of the ice pack, Anna among them. She wore Sila's amulet beneath her furs, its presence a strange comfort against her heart. Atka addressed the hunting party. "Today we seek the great tusked ones who breathe through ice. May the spirits guide our spears and honor our courage." The hunters dispersed in groups of 3. Surprisingly, Atka assigned Malik, now recovered enough to hunt, to accompany Anna, along with a stone-faced hunter named Tuk. For hours they tracked across the ice, following ancient signs only experienced hunters recognized. Anna impressed both men with her knowledge of seal behavior, skills learned from her father before his death. "There," she whispered, pointing to a nearly invisible hole in the ice. "A breathing hole. Fresh." They set up their position, waiting in perfect stillness. When the seal surfaced, Anna's harpoon struck true, a clean kill that brought approving nods from both men. As they secured their prize, the wind shifted. Malik looked up sharply. "Storm coming. Bad one." The horizon had disappeared behind a wall of approaching white. Within minutes, the blizzard engulfed them, visibility reduced to arm's length. "We must find shelter," Tuk shouted above the wind. They struggled forward, the cold penetrating even their thick furs. Suddenly, the ice groaned beneath them. Tuk disappeared with a startled cry as a section collapsed. "Tuk!" Malik bellowed, dropping to his knees at the edge. Anna yanked him back as more ice crumbled. "We can't help him if we fall too." The storm intensified, driving them blindly across the ice until they stumbled upon a blue ice cave formed in an ancient glacier. Inside, sheltered from the howling wind, they collapsed. "We've lost Took," Malik said grimly. "And ourselves." Anna took his freezing hands between hers. "Not lost, just not yet found." Their eyes met in the dim blue light, and something unspoken passed between them, warmer than any fire could provide. The ice cave glowed with ethereal blue light as the storm raged outside. Anna and Malik huddled together for warmth, their breath forming crystalline clouds. "We should rest," Anna suggested. "Conserve our strength until the storm passes." As exhaustion overtook them, Anna drifted into a dream state. Visions swirled, ancestral spirits dancing across frozen seas, a great whale breaching ice, and beneath them, a path glowing with spirit light. She woke with a start. "Malik, there's a way out. Beneath us." "What are you talking about?" he asked groggily. "Trust me," she insisted, running her hands along the cave floor until she found what her vision had shown, a narrow crevice, barely visible. Together they cleared away snow and ice, revealing a tight passage sloping downward. With no other options, they squeezed through, following the tunnel deep into the glacier's heart. "The ancients spoke of ice caves," Malik whispered, "but I never believed." The passage widened into a chamber where their amazement grew. Ancient paintings covered the walls, images of Inuit hunters and spirit animals. But most striking was the central image, two distinct clans, identifiable by their symbols, standing united. "Look," Anna pointed, "Tulukarik and Sikuswilik emblems, side by side." "Impossible," Malik breathed. "The feud goes back countless generations." "Or perhaps not as many as we've been told," Anna suggested. A faint cry echoed through the chamber. Following the sound through another passage, they discovered Took, injured but alive in a lower cavern where he'd fallen through the ice. "The spirits guided us," Anna said as they tended his broken leg. When the storm finally subsided, they discovered the cave system emerged near the hunting camp. They arrived carrying Took between them, to the astonishment of the search party that had given them up for dead. Atka himself stepped forward, disbelief etched on his weathered face. "How did you survive? How did you find Took?" Before they could answer, Sila pushed through the crowd, her ancient eyes fixed on Anna's glowing face. "She has walked with the ancestors," the old seer announced. "The signs are fulfilled." The celebration of their return lasted well into the night. Hunters from both clans gathered around roaring fires, sharing food and tentatively stories. Orna noticed how the boundaries between the groups seemed less defined than before, as if their rescue had thawed something beyond the physical ice. Suddenly, Sila rose, her frail body swaying. The drums stopped. All eyes turned to the ancient seer as she began to chant in a language so old even the elders strained to understand. Her eyes rolled back, revealing only whites, the sign of a true spirit journey. "The divided shall be whole again," she intoned, her voice unnaturally deep. "Blood of one source, separated by pride, reunited by compassion." She pointed a gnarled finger directly at Anna, then at Malik. "You carry the same ancestor spirit. The brothers who became enemies must be reconciled through you." Gasps rippled through the gathering. Atka stood, his authority momentarily forgotten in confusion. "What does this mean, Sila?" The old woman's trance deepened. "Show the proof! The divided token!" With trembling hands, Anna removed her grandmother's amulet, the one Sila had given her before the hunt. It was half of an ivory disc, intricate carvings decorating its edge. Malik's eyes widened. Wordlessly, he reached beneath his parka and withdrew a similar half-disc worn on a leather cord around his neck. "The chief's token," someone whispered. "Passed down since the first hunter." D. As if guided by invisible hands, Anna and Malik brought the pieces together. They fit perfectly, forming a complete circle. Ancient symbols, previously meaningless, now formed a continuous message. along the joined edge. "Divided we perish, united we thrive," translated an elder, his voice quavering. "The brothers pledge." Sela collapsed, caught by nearby women. When her eyes opened again, they were clear. "Now you understand," she said simply. The feud began with twin brothers, each taking half the token when pride divided them. The prophecy awaited those who would reunite what was broken. In the stunned silence that followed, Anna and Malik's hands remained joined, the complete amulet warm between their palms. The wedding preparations transformed the landscape. Two settlements, long separated by ancient grudges, now worked side by side. Igloos were arranged in a great circle, no longer two camps, but one community. Hunting parties from both clans shared techniques, their combined knowledge yielding unprecedented bounty. Anna stood in her ceremonial dress, adorned with beadwork that told her family's story. Her grandmother's spirit felt close, as women from both clans helped prepare her, sharing traditions long kept separate. "The aurora will be strong tonight," an elder woman whispered. "The ancestors are gathering to witness." Outside, Malik waited in his finest furs, the reunited amulet now fashioned into a central piece of his ceremonial collar. Atka stood proudly beside his son, his once stern face softened by newfound purpose. As Anna emerged, a hush fell over the gathered clans. She walked the path between them, no longer divided sides but a unified whole, to where Malik waited. Above, the first ribbons of green and blue light began to dance across the star-filled sky. The ceremony blended traditions from both clans. Vows were exchanged, promises made not just between two people, but between once divided peoples. When Malik and Anna drank from the same ceremonial bowl, cheers erupted that seemed to shake the very ice beneath their feet. Later, as celebrations continued around them, they slipped away to watch the aurora in private. "Do you think they're really watching?" Malik asked, gazing upward at the spectral lights. "Our ancestors." "I know they are," Anna replied, her hand resting on her belly, where new life had just begun to grow. "And so will our children, and their children after them." 5 years later, a traveler lost in a blizzard stumbled upon a prosperous settlement where once two rival clans had lived apart. He was welcomed into a warm igloo where a kind-eyed woman offered him healing broth, while her husband told stories of ancient brothers reconciled through their descendants' love. Outside, children played, children who knew nothing of old feuds, only of the strength found in unity and the wisdom of offering kindness even to strangers who might one day become family. As the northern lights dance above the reunited Inuit clans, we're reminded that compassion can melt even the coldest of feuds, and that sometimes the bravest thing we can do is offer warmth to those we've been taught to fear. What ancient divisions in your own life might be healed through a simple act of kindness? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey across the Arctic ice, where love and courage transformed generations of conflict into harmony, please subscribe to our channel for more stories that illuminate the human spirit and the timeless wisdom of indigenous cultures around the world.